You know when you are debugging in JavaScript and use console log to print some text or variables in the browser console? Well, maybe you know this already, but console is not actually part of the JavaScript language. What? The console object is actually provided by the browser for the JavaScript engine, just like fetch for making requests to external APIs. Console and fetch are two web APIs. There are dozens of web APIs available in the browser that you can use in your JavaScript right now. In today's video, I'm going to show you a few more of these web APIs and how they can be used. All right, the first API I'm going to show you, as listed here in MDM docs, they look like they've had a makeover as well, which is pretty nice, is the Clipboard API. So the Clipboard API is built into the browser, into all modern browsers, and what it allows you to do is access the actual clipboard. So I'll show you quickly how it works, and I'll show you the HTML. So I have just an input and a button. The JavaScript looks like this. So I'm assigning an event listener to the button. I get the element, which is the input, and I get the text that's inside of it. And I make sure I select the text field, and then I need to access the clipboard through navigator.clipboard, and I just call write text and pass in the value of that text. So let's see how that works. If I click on copy text, it asks me permission to access the clipboard, so I say okay, and I've logged the value out here, and if I just simply paste, you can see my hello world is copied there. So very simple. So if you want to have a value on your app that you want the user to be able to copy to their clipboard to paste somewhere else, it's really simple to do, and it's built into JavaScript. So I'll do some other value here, click copy text, allow again, delete this, and paste in some other value. So there you go, that's the copy to clipboard API. The second API we're going to look at is a pretty new one, and this is the Eyedropper API. This is really cool. So what an eyedropper does is it allows you to select a color from anywhere and copy the value to your clipboard. So again, we've got the Eyedropper API here. Let's have a look at the HTML. So Eyedropper, all we've got is a button, which you can see there. We'll look at the JavaScript. And what we're doing is adding event listener to when we click on the button again, and we call this eyedropper equals new eyedropper, and that's just available for you in the browser, so you don't need to import anything. It calls open the eyedropper, and then it does something with the result. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the background color of this section to the color that we pick. So I'll click on the button here, and you can see it opens the eyedropper. And I'm going to hover over here into my VS Code and pick this pink, and voila, there you go. It's changed the background color of this element with this just really small bits of JavaScript here, which is really nice. I'll show you again. We can pick the gray. We can pick the color of Chrome here. We can just set it back to white. So that is the Eyedropper API, really nice. Now here's another one I didn't even know existed. This is the full screen API, and what it does is it allows you to make any element full screen in your window. So this is typically used for like a video player, but in this example, I'm actually just creating a div here with an ID of full screen section. I've got a button, and when I click toggle full screen, it should make this div full screen. So you can see the div here. I've colored it in a nice green color, a minty green color, just to show you how it works. And if we look at the JavaScript, it allows me to say get the element. So I've grabbed the element, which is my full screen section. So if it's not already full screen, I'm going to request full screen just straight off the element. Otherwise, I'm going to exit full screen. So if I click on toggle full screen here, it should make this green element full screen, and it's literally taking up my entire monitor. So I'm going to drag that over so you can see. And then to exit full screen, I can simply click toggle full screen back, and it goes back. So that's the full screen API. That's probably useful in a lot of different situations. And like I said, I didn't even know this existed. Next, we have the Geolocation API. And as this says here, the Geolocation API allows the user to provide their location to web applications if they desire. So for privacy reasons, the user was asked permission to report location information. So again, we'll look at the HTML, and it's just simply a section and a button. So when I click on that button, I have that JavaScript here. If the navigator doesn't exist, it's not supported by the browser, we'll just do that alert. But otherwise, we can just call navigator.geolocation.getCurrentPosition, and then I'm going to spit out an alert with that position once it has returned. So I'll show you the demonstration here. I'm going to click on locate me, and it wants to know my location, so I'm going to click allow, and I'm going to have to give that a couple of seconds to figure out the location. But now you can see here, the alert has come up with my latitude and longitude. So I can pinpoint the location of a user if I ask them. It only responds to actions by the user, so you cannot just trigger it when the page renders. You have to respond to a button click and then it asks for permission. So that's how that works. And the last API for today's video is the History API. So it allows the user to move backward or forward through the browser's session history. So again, we'll look at the code here. We've got a back button and a forward button. And then in the JavaScript here, it's very, very straightforward. On click, we can just call window.history.back or .forward. So I'm going to copy this and I'll replace that. Then I'll go back. So now if I click forward, I should get back to that page again. And if I click back, I go back to the start page because that was where I started from in this browser. So that's back and forward working from the History API in the browser. And if you've made it this far, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I have some other videos that you might like to watch showing on screen now, so please do check them out. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.